Good morning, students. Beta, we are continuing our chapter International Trade. Today, we will discuss about international business versus domestic business. I hope that you have clearly understood these both the terms because these have been explained you international business and domestic business. So, let us read the topic. Conducting and managing international business operations is more complex than undertaking domestic business. There are so many differences in the working process, and the decisions are taken, and various other differences are there between international business and domestic business. The operations or activities are much more complex in international business as compared to the domestic business, we can say, is much easier and simple as compared to international. Because of variations in political, social, cultural, and economic environment across countries, business firms find it difficult to extend their domestic business strategy to foreign market. Because in international market, beta, because in international business we are doing trade with the foreign countries also, and the countries with which we are dealing are very much different with respect to their political decisions, social environment, cultural and economic environments. So there are so many differences, so many formalities which international business have to complete. To be successful in the overseas market, they need to adapt their product, pricing, promotions, and distribution strategies and overall business plans to suit the specific requirements of the target foreign markets. So, beta, if the businessman wants that his business is to run very efficiently, then he need to make various kind of changes with respect to the quality or prices and many other things which are acceptable in foreign markets. If the international businessman does not make such kind of changes, then he or she will not survive in foreign market. He have to produce such kind of goods which are demanded in foreign countries. Key aspects in respect of which domestic and international business differ from each other are discussed below. So now we are going to discuss the main differences between these two kind of businesses. So first difference is nationality of buyers and sellers. Right? So nationality of buyers and sellers, this is the first difference. Look at the explanation. Nationality of the key participants, that is buyer and seller. Though beta, two most important participants involved in a business are, first is buyer and the second is seller. So these both are different from each other. These both belong to different countries. Their nationality belongs to different countries in international business. In the case of domestic business, both the buyers and sellers are from the one same country. This makes it easier for both the parties to understand each other and enter into business deals. But this is not the case with international business, where buyers and sellers come from different countries. Because of differences in their languages, attitudes, social customs, and business goals and practices, it becomes relatively more difficult for them to interact with one another and finalize business transactions. So this is very clearly understood that if two people belong to one region or one particular area, so they can deal in a very cooperative manner. But if the businessman, in the international business, both the buyers and sellers belongs to different countries, so there are so many differences in different countries. So they may face various kind of difficulties also in running their international business. The second difference is nationality of other stakeholders. But in a business, I have already earlier also told you that in a business there are so many people involved other than the buyer and seller, who are directly linked with the business, who are linked with the profits of the business, and who wants to know everything about the performance of the business, where various these parties are like the employees, like the shareholders, suppliers, partners, etc. So their nationality is also different like we just talked about, buyers and sellers are of different countries in international trade. In the same way, these stakeholders who have interest in the business, these also belongs to different countries in case of international business. But if in the domestic business, these all belong to one country. Look at the explanation now. Domestic and international business also differ in respect to the nationalities of other stakeholders such as the employees, suppliers, shareholders, partners, and general public who interact with the business firms. So I would like to tell you here that the government is also one stakeholder in the business who wants to know about the performance of the business. Like general public also wants to know about the performance of the business. So these are the various parties who are directly linked with the business. While in the case of domestic business, all such factors belong to one country and therefore, relatively speaking, depict more consistency in their value system and behaviors. Decision making in international business becomes much more complex as the concerned business firms have to take into account a wider set of values and aspirations of the stakeholders belonging to different nations. Right, so I just told you that in international business the businessman has to face various kind of complexities because of these differences, because the people involved in the business belong to different countries and different cultures. So there are various kind of complexities in international business, but in domestic business such kind of differences are not there, so difficulties are also not there. The third one is mobility of factors of production. Factors of production are there beta land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Mobility of factors of production means they are perfectly mobile. They can move to any particular area where they are required. So look at the explanation. The degree of mobility of factors like labor and capital is generally less between countries than within a countries. While these factors of movement can move freely within the country, there exist various restrictions to their movement across nations. Apart from legal restrictions, even the variations in socio-cultural environment, geographic influences, and economic conditions come in a big way in their movement across the countries. This is especially true of the labor, which finds it difficult to adjust to the climatic, economic, and socio-cultural conditions that differ from country to country. So beta factors of production are perfectly mobile in case of domestic country, because in a country they can freely move to any particular area wherever they are needed. But in case of international trade, if the factors want to move, they may have to face various kind of difficulties. Like if a labor wants to go and work abroad, then he may have to face various kind of legal restrictions and various uh, and by going and setting down in a different country, then also he will face some difficulties, like socio-cultural environment will be different there, geographical influences will be different there, economic conditions will be different there. So that is why mobility of factors of production is more in case of domestic business, but in case of international business mobility is less. Now the fourth one is customer heterogeneity across markets. Customers are not homogeneous, because in international trade the culture is different, the habits are different. So customers which the wants of which you have to satisfy, they are of heterogeneous, they have variations in their demands. Look at the explanation. Since buyers in international markets hail from different countries, they differ in their socio-cultural backgrounds. Differences in their taste, fashion, language, beliefs, and customs, attitudes, and product preferences cause variations in not only their demand for different products and services, but also in variations in their communication pattern, purchases behavior. It is precisely because of the socio-cultural differences that while people in China prefer bicycle, the Japanese, in contrast, like ride bikes. Similarly, while people in India use right-hand driven cars, Americans drive cars fitted with the steering, brakes, etc. on the left side. Moreover, while people in the United States change their TV, bike, and other customer durable very frequently within 2 to 3 years of their purchase, Indian mostly do not go in for such replacement until the products currently with them have totally worn out. So these are the various examples which are given to you, like the differences in the cultures, in the behaviors, in the habits of the people. Like Indians are used to consume their products till they are completely worn off, and but in the other countries people usually change their product year every year or year after year. Within 2 to 3 years they have a habit to use new products, but Indians does not have such kind of habits. Such variations greatly complicate the task of designing products and evolving strategies appropriate for the customers in different countries. Though to some extent customers within a country too differ in their taste and preferences, these differences become more striking when we compare customers across nations. So better because of these differences, if a businessman wants to trade at international level, then he has to decide about various kinds of things before starting his business. He has to plan very effectively and efficiently if he wants to stand in the international market. Otherwise he will not survive in the international market if he is not satisfying the wants and desires of the people abroad, which have their different taste and preferences, different habits, etc. Now the fifth one is differences in business systems and practices. There are also differences in business systems and practices in the international business. The differences in business systems and practices are considerably much more among countries than within a country. Countries differ from one another in terms of their socio-economic development, availability, cost and efficiency of economic infrastructure and market support services, and business customs and practices due to their socio-economic milieu and historical coincidences. All such differences make it necessary for firms interested in entering into international market to adapt their production, finance, human resource and marketing plans as per the conditions prevailing in the international markets. So beta, it is rightly given there that if you want to involve in international business and if you want to go and set up your business in a foreign country, then you must first pre-plan and see the what are the conditions available there related to the production capacity, resources, infrastructure, communication, etc. And by looking out these, then you have to decide that whether you are now ready to do international business or not, whether these are supporting you or not supporting you. Then the next one is political system and risk. So this is a very important difference beta, that because the politics, yeah, political parties are very much different with the within all the countries, and the risk is also related with this. So government policies very much affect your policies and your plans. So it is very much important point of difference, political system and risk. Political factors such as the type of the government, political party system, political ideology, political risk, etc. have a profound impact on business operations. Since a business person is familiar with the political environment of his or her country, he or she can well understand and predict the impact on the business operations. But this is not the case with international business. Political environment differs from one country to another. One needs to make special efforts to understand the differing political environment and their business implications. Since political environment keep on changing, one needs to monitor political changes on an ongoing basis in the concerned countries and devise strategies to deal with the diverse political risk. So beta, politics or we can say the government which is in the center in any country, the policies made by the present government affect directly or indirectly the business decisions. This is a true fact. So if you want to do international business and you are sitting in India and you are doing business in other country, then you may have to face various kind of difficulties, because it may happen that the changes which are going in the country related to the government you may not know, because you are sitting in another country. So you will face very much difficulties. And other than that, if you are doing business in your own country, then you know that what kind of policies have been framed by the government, these are supporting you or not. You may come to know that the government is going to change or not, so you can decide in advance about the various kind of plans related to your business. Next one is business regulations and policies. So Coupled with its socio-economic environment and political philosophy, each country uh, evolves its own set of business laws and regulations. Though these laws, regulations, and economic policies are more and less uniformly applicable within a country, they differ widely among nations. Tariff and taxation policies, import quota systems, subsidies, and other controls adopted by the nation are not the same in other countries and often discriminate against foreign products, services, and capital. So this point is related with the last one only, beta, that the various policies which have been made by the government, like the taxation policies, import system, their export system, subsidies which are given to the producers, these are different in different countries. And other than that, the governments are very much serious about the import and export of the goods and services. It takes very seriously about what products have to be imported, and what prices you have to give them, or which products you are going to export to the other countries, and what prices you are going to take from them. So these differ in different countries. So producers may face different problems if they are going to undertake the international business. The last point is currency used in the business transactions. All of us know that if you are doing a foreign trade and you are dealing with other countries, then you must require foreign currency to make payments. So currency jo used in the business transactions is also different. If you are doing international business, then you will have to deal in different currencies. If you are dealing with China or Russia, then you will deal in the currency which is running in their country. Like in India, we are using rupees. America, they are using dollar. So different currencies get involved in the business transactions. But if you are dealing in a domestic business, then only rupees will be there, and all the transactions will be completed with the take and give and take of the rupees only. So these were the differences which we have discussed about international trade and domestic trade.